Kunja Vihari
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Braj Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braj Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Braj Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braj Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki Jai 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 Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chanda Jaya Gaura Bhakta Brinda Jaya Advaita Chanda Jaya Gaura Bhakta Brinda Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chanda Jaya Gaura Bhakta Brinda So reading from Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is Adi-Lila. Just a moment, yeah. Let's fix it. Someone can do it.
We don't have computers. इस पे लगा लो.
Oh,
Prabhu, you can use mine.
is it connected to the TV?
No, it's not connected. If you know how to connect.
Maybe we can do it. Can you connect by the phone?
Yeah, but if it's not a very star connector, then
How do we connect it?
By Bluetooth? You can find on the forum.
Ah,
No, that's we all have a phone, so you can look from the phone.
Just a moment.
Ah, ça c'est le
sí.
Haribo.
Haribo.
Hare Krishna.
Here we are. Yes.
Hare. Hare. Very good. Yes. So this is chapter 11 of Adi-Lila, and today we have shloka number 8. So let's read this together. Shri Virabhadra Gosani Skanda Mahashaka.
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 Tanra Upashakayata Asankhya Tara Leka.
Which verse?
8.
Ah.
Oh, sorry. Over it again. Shri Virabhadra Gosani Skanda Mahashaka.
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 Tanra Upashakayata Asankhya Tara Leka.
Tanra Upashakayata Sankhya Leka.
Tanra Upashakayata Asankhya Tara Leka.
Tanra Upashakayata Asankhya Leka.
Shri Virabhadra Gosani Skanda Mahashaka.
Shri Virabhadra Gosani Skanda Mahashaka.
Tanra Upashakayata Asankhya Tara Leka.
Tanra Upashakayata Asankhya Leka.
Bolo.
Shri Virabhadra Gosani Skanda Mahashaka.
Shri Virabhadra Gosani Skanda Mahashaka.
Tanra Upashakayata Asankhya Leka.
Tanra Upashakayata Asankhya Leka.
Shri Virabhadra Gosani Skanda Mahashaka.
Shri Virabhadra Gosani Skanda Mahashaka.
Tanra Upashakayata Sankhyatar Alika.
Tanra Upashakayata Asankhya Leka.
Shri Virabhadra Gosani Skanda Mahashaka.
Shri Virabhadra Gosani Skanda Mahashaka.
Tanra Upashakayata Asankhyatar Alika.
Tanra Upashakayata Asankhya Leka.
Shri Virabhadra Gosani Skanda Mahasaka.
Shri Virabhadra Gosani Skanda Mahashaka.
Tara Upasakayata Sankhya Leka.
Tanra Upashakayata Asankhya Leka.
Shri Virabhadra Gosani Skanda Mahasaka.
Shri Virabhadra Gosani Skanda Mahashaka.
Tanra Upasakayata
Tanra Upasaka Yata Asankyata Leka.
Shri Virabhadra Gosani Skanda Mahashakha.
Shri Virabhadra Gosani Skanda Mahashaka.
Tandra Upashakha Yata Ashankyatana Lekha.
Tanra Upasaka Yata Asankyata Leka.
Shri Virabhadra Gosani.
Shri Virabhadra Gosani.
Of the name Shri Virabhadra Gosani.
Of the name Shri Virabhadra Gosani.
Skanda.
Skanda.
Of the trunk.
Of the trunk.
Mahashaka.
Mahashaka.
The biggest branch.
The biggest branch.
Tanra.
Tanra.
His.
Upashaka.
Upashaka. Sub-branches.
Sub-branches.
Yata.
Yata.
All. Asankhya.
Asankhya.
Innumerable.
Innumerable.
Tara.
Tara.
Of that.
Of that.
Lekha.
Lekha.
The description.
The description.
Translation purport by Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai.
After Nityananda Prabhu, the greatest branch is Virabhadra Gosani, who also has innumerable branches and sub-branches. It is not possible to describe them all. Purport. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur describes Virabhadra Gosani as the direct son of Srila Nityananda Prabhu and disciple of Janavadevi. His real mother was Vasudha. In the Gaura Ganodesha Dipika, verse 67, he is mentioned as the incarnation of Kshirodakashaya Vishnu. Therefore, Virabhadra Gosani is none different from Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In a village of the name Jamatapura, in the district of Hugali, Virabhadra Gosani had a disciple named Yadunata Acharya, who had two daughters, a real daughter named Shrimati and a foster daughter named Narayan. Both those daughters married, and they are mentioned in Bhakti Ratnaka, chapter 13. Virabhadra Gosani had three disciples who are celebrated as his sons: Gopijana Vallabha, Ramakrishna, and Ramachandra. The youngest, Ramachandra, belonged to the Shandilya dynasty and had the surname Vatavyala. He established his family at Kadadaha, and its members are known as the Goswamis of Kadadaha. The eldest disciple, Gopijana Vallabha, was a resident of a village known as Lata, near the Manakar railway station in the district of Budvan. The second, Ramakrishna, lived near Maladaha in a village named Gayeshapura. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur notes that since these three disciples belonged to different gotras or dynasties and also had different surnames and lived in different places, it is not possible to accept them as real sons of Virabhadra Gosani. Ramachandra had 4 sons, of whom the eldest was Radhamadhava, whose third son was named Yadavendra. Yadavendra's son was Nandakishore, his son was Nandi Krishna, his son was Chaitanya Chanda, his son was Krishna Mohana, his son was Jaga Mohana, his son was Vrajanath, and his son was Shyamalala Goswami. This is the genealogical table given by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur for the descendants of Virabhadra Gosani. Sri Virabhadra Gosani, Skanda Mahashaka, Tanra Upashaka Yata, Asankhya Taraleka. After Nityananda Prabhu, the greatest branch is Virabhadra Gosani, who also has innumerable branches and sub-branches, It is not possible to describe them all. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gnajana Shalakaya Chakshu Tamina Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Simate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Tinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashtatyari Satarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Vanchakalpaturupyascha Kripa Sindhubevacha Patitanam Pavanabhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Hare Krishna. Thank you for participating this morning in this narration of Shri Chaitanya Chaitamrita, which is a main book for Gaudiya Vaishnavas, followers of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates. And today we are in chapter 11. And chapter 11 is dedicated to the descendants of Lord Nityananda. Author Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami very beautifully explained, just by giving example, that Lord Chaitanya is like a original tree of devotional service. It's original trunk, and from him the other very strong and powerful trunks also manifested. On the one side is another very powerful and strong trunk of Lord Nityananda, followers and descendants, and the other side Lord Advaita. So that will be studied later in the next chapter. So today we will focus on Lord Nityananda descendants, and today is a very special one, is Virabhadra Prabhu or Virabhadra Goswami. There are the different ways of describing the same person and in the Shastra, but he was actually direct son of Lord Nityananda. And the first question, Purpavak, excuse me, it's good that I have the water. Purvapaksha, the first objection or doubt can be in the purport. Srila Prabhupada described the disciples who were considered as the sons, but Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, after explaining of these different descendants and sons of the etc., connected in this line, explained actually they are not considered the sons. So that can be a little bit confusing. So this description is there is the reason for that. The reason for that, why this description is there, because there are different reasons. One of the reasons is that in Bengal in those times, and even now we can see that there are so many descendants, even Virabhadra Goswami or Lord Nityananda followers, who are claiming that we are real descendants. But their identification is based on the body. Because, we born in this family. So it's like a seminal lineage, bodily connection. But Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is actually explained that this is not that important. What is important is the connection, spiritual connection, based on Guru Parampara, where the Diksha is given, initiation is taking place, where the instructions are delivered and follow very nicely by the followers, by the devotees. So these two things need to be distinguished, and unfortunately, some of these branches, like Krishna Kaviraj Goswami explained, each devotee is actually one of the branch of this original tree of Lord Chaitanya. Just need to remain on the position of the servant and perfect his service by remaining as such in the mood of unity and cooperation. This is what the acharyas are describing here. Then from this devotee, from any of us, we can create further branches in future. And this is what Prabhupada was expecting. Prabhupada explained also that ISKCON, this Hare Krishna movement, is also one of the branches of this original tree of Lord Chaitanya. And the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya still continue in this way of saving so many conditioned souls like Jagai and Madai. And we are one of them. Jagai and Madai, they were dacoits, they were robbers, but but because they submitted themselves to Lord Nityananda and Lord Chaitanya, they become great devotees of the Lord, and they got the name Jagadananda and Madhavananda. Like Narottam Das Thakur is praying in his beautiful song to the associates of Lord Chaitanya. Doyo, how it's starting? Yes, this is the first one. Doyo Koro. Yeah, that's to Advaita. But to Lord Nityananda is Haha Prabhu Nityananda. Haha Prabhu Nityananda, Premananda Sukhi, Haha Prabhu Nityananda, Premananda Sukhi, Ami Boro Duki. I just paraphrase, I just missed the third line, but the idea is that Narottam is just praying to Lord Nityananda, I am Duki, I am unhappy. I'm so materialistic person. That's why I'm a dukkhi. But by your mercy, by serving you, I can also become like you. And Nityananda, Nityananda is eternally happy, jolly. So I can also become a jolly person, happy servant of the Lord. So in this shloka, few words are very important. First is that Virabhadra Goswami, it's considered as a Skanda Mahashaka, the biggest branch of this trunk. But what is very interesting, how Virabhadra Goswami, how he was thinking about himself. This is very interesting. Virabhadra Goswami, whenever he was addressed, oh, you the son of Lord Nityananda, say, no, I am not the son of Lord Nityananda. I am the servant of the servant. I'm not considering myself as a son of Lord Nityananda. I'm servant of the servant. And my only wealth, he was saying, is the holy name of Krishna. So, not bodily identification, just, spiritual identification. I'm servant of the servants. So in this way, Shraddhas Kaviraj Goswami, whenever he is explaining these different branches, he will bring this point again and again and again. This is what is nourishing this tree. And then the tree and these branches, the Lord Chaitanya is then pleased, and the branches grow more. And the branches are giving the fruits. Fruits of love of Godhead. And those devotees who are remaining connected in this way with this original tree, they also tasting the fruits. And not only the tasting the fruits of love of Godhead, but they also distributing them.
Mm.
And then the more distributing them, they more tasting them. So this is how the spiritual dynamics, Krishna Kaviraj Goswami is explaining, is working of this tree, original tree of Lord Chaitanya. So it's not about, it's explained, it's not about the hearing and chanting, it's about the tasting, the hearing and chanting. Just having this experience of hearing and chanting, going deeply into the holy name. Like Prabhupada was very practically explaining in Mumbai, when he was in Mumbai temple in Juhu, he was asked why devotees in this Hare Krishna movement are so successful. The only success, Prabhupada explained, is because devotees, they gather together every day and they chant and dance in front of the deities. And then deities, because they are pleased, then devotees become so, they're getting so much merciful glance on them and blessings of the Lord, of the deities, and then when they're going outside, then attract so many others to this Hare Krishna movement by giving this mercy. Prabhupada said this is the only way why we are so successful. And definition of kirtan is given in Chaitanya Bhagavat by Vrindavan Das Thakur. Kirtan means when devotees are gathered together, what they should do, they should give up everything. Give up everything, whatever it's holding them back. All material desires, any material consideration, just surrender, just should give up in front of the deities and very joyfully chant Hare Krishna. And without any material considerations, we then give up all the material attachments and desires and chant Hare Krishna. And Prabhupada stressed so much on chanting Hare Krishna. This is the Yuga Dharma, of course, that we have to gather like this again and chant together. Like one of our homework while studying in Gurukul in Mayapur was that you study the most successful temples in this world, Hare Krishna temples, that they are, what is the reason of the success of their development, of their communities? Outside, they keep the unity in the temple, and also how they were expanding and making more and more branches to increase the number of the devotees outside and they unite them together. That was amazing. So we went to Chaupati temple. We were studying there for 1 week, and then we were studying. And first thing, what we heard there was very striking. You cannot, they told us, they cannot be a good preacher unless you are very carefully, very respectfully hear from other people about their life, about their stories, about how they join, about their problems. You cannot make any good relationship with them. People will not trust you, will not want to hear you unless you hear them from them, everything. So there is one leader in the temple, is Radhananda Maharaj. And you know how he started. Now they have community of thousands and thousands. Like many years ago, there was already 10,000 devotees connected with the temple and gathered together, traveling together, do programs together, organize things together, do Sunday feast together. But they started, how they started, it was amazing, many years back. There was just one room, and the room was full of holes where the rats were running through the room. It was very, very humble environment. And there was Maharaj, Radhananda Maharaj, and just 2-3 more brahmacharis. And this is how they started. And Maharaj started to see the situation, that there was no any unity. There was no unity at all at the beginning. There were so many obstacles. There are so different opinions. There are different ideas. And how he synthesized, how to bring together is amazing. So he started preach. He just was going himself with this other few disciples and was visiting different homes of the devotees. And on each of this program, he was just explaining that you be not able to advance in your Krishna consciousness unless you respecting wholeheartedly, very sincerely those who are dedicated their life in a renounced order of life, like brahmacharis, like vanaprasthas or sannyasis. You have to be very, very respectful and become servant of them, of those devotees. Then there's a chance that you make. Then you attract the mercy of the Lord, confirm. And then he was coming back to his ashram and he was preaching but in opposite way. Dear brahmacharis, dear devotees living in ashram, there is no question that you will make any progress and advancement unless you become very sincere servant and of all devotees, of congregational devotees living outside, who work, have wife, children, all these responsibilities, work and job, and at the same time, they want to be also Krishna conscious. If you are not able to appreciate them, if you're not able to respect them, if you're not able to serve them wholeheartedly, you are not qualified to even live here. So please decide. So in this way, gradually, because of Maharaj created this based on the shloka, Trinada Pisu Nichana, Tarapisa Hishna Amanina Manadana Kirtanya Sadahari. That we be able only chant Kirtanya Sadahari, joyfully, ecstatically, the holy names together. When we will apply this knowledge, this understanding in our daily life to each other. How? By becoming servants of the other devotees, like we saying, Prabhu, or Mataji, you are my Prabhu, you are my Mataji, you are just my mother, or you are my master, I am your servant. So, and then Trinada Pisu Nichana Tarapisu, then be tolerant, like we discussed. Prabhupada said, tolerance means, especially when we're living in the temple, tolerance means that you are tolerating the things which are intolerable. That means tolerance. Then you are tolerant. That means that, Prabhupada explained, the things which are not able to tolerate, it's not possible, you must tolerate. Then you are tolerant. Amanina manadana. You respect others, but you can't expect any respect for yourself. Only in this way you are able to do Kirtanya Sadahari. You will be joyfully, ecstatically chant the holy name with each other. So this is very, very important before doing any service, practically. Any service, going to any responsibility, remember about this shloka. Why? Because it's very difficult to forget about this great instructions, and what is happening when we're forgetting, then we are a little bit in different situation. And Prabhupada explained that association of devotees, of other like-minded devotees, like you yourself and devotees who are coming from our beautiful congregation here, is like a fire, Prabhupada said. Sometimes it's like a fire. With fire, if you are too close, you can burn. But if you are respectfully staying, you can get warm, you can be heated up, you can get, especially now, it's getting cold, eh? It's getting cold, eh? So, so similarly, is the instructions, do not approach too close to the deities, or not to approach too close to your spiritual master. As we have this famous saying, the familiarity brings contempt. So we take them too easy, we just, this is why on the beginning when we join into Hare Krishna movement, everyone is like, wow, these devotees are like superhumans, like the demigods, shining, chanting, so much, we are in awe, so much respect is there. And so much is adoration of others, glorification of others. And we are able to maintain for some time like that, our respectful attitude. But after some time, some or other, we just, this disappearing, this awe, and we just try to see something different. Oh, actually, here's some weakness, or there one you can see some fault, And then what is happening when we chanting Hare Krishna, our chanting Hare Krishna become dry. And our relationship becomes superficial. So Prabhupada explained that the cessation of devotees is like a fire. It's a spatial arrangement of Krishna that our egos can rub with each other, that we can see our weaknesses. It's like Arjuna. But if you remain humble, then you can very nicely advance. Like Arjuna was brought very tactfully, very smartly by Lord Krishna between two armies. Because Bhagavad Gita, what is Bhagavad Gita? On the beginning, there's Arjuna with his chariot, Gandiva bow, and sitting there, and Lord Krishna is there in the chariot and he's instructing. On the beginning is the same scene, on the end. But what changed? The whole Bhagavad Gita. Everything is just same. The whole setup is the same. What changed? Arjuna's heart changed. Yes, Arjuna's heart changed. Consciousness changed. There's the same person, everything is the same. But what's changed? So this is very important, that this is showing us what Krishna consciousness is. It's an internal process. It's not just wearing, our dhoti or sari and doing so many things, be busy. We have to do it, of course, but it's actually take it to our heart and go deeply. Like Lord Chaitanya as explaining, you have to become a gardener of your own heart. And you have to watch where you are watering this, your own Bhakti Lata beach. Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jiv Guru Krishna Prasadet Bhakti Lata beach. It's planted with our heart, our devotion to Krishna, but we have to very carefully gardening. Because in the same time, with this Bhakti Lata devotion to Krishna, plants of devotion, also the other things are growing. And what is the biggest danger of our own bhajan and worship of Krishna? Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, Pratishta and Matsarya, envy. The two biggest enemies. So that's why Lord Chaitanya is explaining that we have to know where to water. Because if you water somewhere else, if you're not analyzing, these weeds were growing. Like we have devotees who are such amazingly doing services here, taking care of this garden here around. I'm just amazed, so much dedication, heart they put, coming almost every day. They're changing sometimes. I at least saw two. I don't know their names yet, but one was, I know, attracted when we were to our kitchen when we were doing pizza. He was making photos. Italian pizza today. Yeah, I was very, very enthusiastic. It's such amazing service, you know, they doing. But I think they have this experience, and any of you that, you know, when we plant something, some plant, or, you know, to have flowers, some fruit of our, you know, planting, you know, there also other things are also around this plant also growing at the same time. And we have to every time take it out. And not just watering them, water just only in the root, this main plant. Otherwise, what is happening, Lord Chaitanya is explaining in this Chaitanya Chaitamrita, these weeds will also grow and become stronger and stronger, and they can overcome this main plant of our own devotion. And so that's why this pratishta, self-adoration. Oh, I am great devotee. Like here in France, you have this great saint, Saint Francis. Saint Francis was such amazing sadhu, saintly person. There's an amazing story which I wanted to share with you regarding this quality of pratishta, self-adoration, self-worship, self-recognition, like that. Rather we look for that than just remain humble servant. Just become distracted by that. Because we are, you know, we are ready for some time in the Vaishnava Sangha. So this Saint Francis had a brother. And this brother was coming from the very also aristocratic high birth family. So he was coming from good family, his brother, not his brother, that was his actually nephew. Yes, nephew. He was very beautiful. He coming from the rich family. Everything was paka, wonderful, you know, regarding his life. And Saint Francis was preaching everywhere, all around. And because of his own wonderful qualities, purity of his heart, he was able to attract hundreds and thousands of people. Whenever Saint Francis was going, he was able to attract, like Lord Chaitanya and Virabhadra Goswami, he was able to attract, everyone want to just see him. Everyone want to hear from him. Everyone want to ask for some advice and some answer. And can you help? And everyone. And in one point of traveling like this with Saint Francis, this nephew couldn't tolerate it. Couldn't take it anymore. It's enough. He was just so much opposing, you know. Why Francis? Why Francis? Why Francis? Why not me? And then Francis, when it came to that point, what he was holding in just came out. Francis very humbly approached to his nephew and explained, why me? Why not you? Because our Lord want to show to everyone that because I am so fallen and unqualified person, that I don't have any good qualities, I can also be used and be instrument of his message to the others, to help others. And that's why it's me, but maybe not you. So in this way, Saint Francis very nicely instructed and explained very nicely to his nephew about this quality of pratishta or matsarya, envy, not be able to tolerate that someone else, why him, why not me, why his service, why not my service, why he's in the center, why I am not in the center. Similarly, in the pastimes of Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Prabhupada was in this plan, also was many wonderful instructive interactions like that. Once there was friction between devotees who were living in one temple, that which kind of preaching, way of preaching is better. So one group of devotees, they form a fraction, that preaching and the going out in the dotis This is the proper way of preaching and attracting other and distributing Srila Prabhupada books and chanting Hare Krishna. There was another faction as actually they figure out that actually they can preach more effectively and distribute more books if they're not going in the Vaishnava clothes, in the clothes of people who are in Western clothes, because Western people feel more comfortable in this way. So these devotees, so guess who won in this competition?
No.
Devotees who were in dhoti actually got better results. Some or other. They start to, they preaching, the results were much more, higher than these devotees were preaching Western clothes. And to confirm, they wrote the letter to Srila Prabhupada that, just now it says to be certified, this is the way of preaching for the next 10,000 years, whatever. So, I'm joking. And then Srila Prabhupada received this letter and wrote back. And Prabhupada, what Prabhupada wrote, through his letter, he actually put the mirror of the heart of those who wrote to him in front of them by writing letter to them. Prabhupada explained in the answer, actually doesn't matter you are in this clothes or that clothes. If you feel comfortable in dhoti, do in dhoti. If you not feel comfortable, do in Western clothes. And then that's it. So this is why we have these beautiful examples. Lord Krishna brought Arjuna similarly in front of the other opposition, and what Arjuna put in the situation that Arjuna can confront with others, can compare himself to the others. He have to fight against his relatives, his guru, his teacher, his friends. He has to fight with them. But actually, it is not about these external things. This is all about internal things. About our own. Krishna put Arjuna in the situation that he can confront his own attachments, his own desires. And then when Arjuna was in the situation, I cannot fight, or became weak, he on the bodily identification, attachment, became weak. His Gandiva bow, he couldn't fight. His whole skin dry, became like a fire. He couldn't fight. He just started crying. Lord Krishna just smiled, because Lord Krishna is always smiling. In the spiritual world, everyone is smiling. Why? Because there's no any consideration, false considerations. So then, when Arjuna finished a little bit this drama, the Lord Krishna started to gradually instruct him. That's why we have Bhagavad Gita, and that's why we are here. We have Bhagavad Gita as it is. These teachings has to be followed and delivered in the same way, in the same manner, because then when we have connection with the proper source of knowledge, then this is what is happening. Then become inspired, then all distress, anxiety, misconceptions of life become removed, and then Arjuna we hear. Then Arjuna again, after a short time, is able to now fight even more vigorously, with more determination, but not for himself, for Krishna. So this is what Prabhupada explained in different places, that this is sometimes happen also to the devotees. Sometimes they are also distracted because we are in this material world. We have different connections, we have different responsibilities, we have different things to deal. But in the same time, it not takes too long. The devotee can shake it off. Because why? Because of his bhakti. because of his devotion to Krishna, and he can again, like Arjuna, grab Gandiva bow again and fight again, do his responsibilities to please Krishna. So like this, we're gathering experiences, and we're getting strength more and more and more. It's like, if you worship someone else, like any demigod, like any powerful living entity of this world, you may get what you want, but you will be weak when the tests will come in your life. But what Krishna is doing, he will not give you easy life. He will put you in distressful situation, because to test your devotion, your sincerity, that you can grow and become stronger and stronger and stronger. That's why Maharani Kunti, the mother of Pandavas, she's explaining this in her own experience. I don't want to be identified to my family members, although they are devotees, on the base of the body, Vrishni, Yadus, etc. Let my devotion flow only towards you, that I only will be attached to you. Confirm. And then let's this Vipadam become my Sampadam. Let's these problems, this is all my only wealth, because this letting me, helping me to grow and be Krishna conscious, fully devoted to you. Like as this beautiful episode in Mahabharata, Lord Krishna, after battle of Kurukshetra, on the way to go home back to Godhead, to his spiritual abode, he's with Pandavas, and they stop over, like we stop over sometimes with the plane, or we're changing the buses, our transport, and then they stop over in the Svargalok. And today, astonishment, there is Duryodhan and his old brothers, and they enjoying like anything, drinking somaras, wine, nectar, ambrosial nectar of demigods, of immortality, and so many beautiful women, and they can't believe, they are completely puzzled, and they turning to Lord Krishna, how it has come, they did so many, politics, there's so many problems, there's so many fault finders, there's so many, they want to kill, they cheat like this, and they are here, and they got such amazing, destination, and Lord Krishna just smiled again, and he explained, this is what I do, this is exactly what I do. What you do, my Lord? This is what I do. When someone is demoniac, when someone is not in the devil, is not awakened to worshiping me, first I'm giving him, all good things in his life. All that he can, all his credit, pious credit, whatever he did in the past, he is enjoying first this, and when this is burned out, then I'm sending him for very, very long time to the bad situation, to the hellish condition of life. But for devotees, I do opposite. In these material worlds, looking like devotees have a little bit miserable life. Sometimes you may feel like that, all people have beautiful houses, cars, life, they go with the girlfriend, eating ice cream, and you are then on the street. Nobody wants these books, nobody pay attention with your Harinam, and you may think, wow, maybe I missed something in my life, Sometimes doubts can appear, So, no, this is all external. This is Lord Krishna's arrangement. Lord Krishna said, this is what I do. I put situation that these all bad karma, this prarabdha karma can be burned out from his whole past. That's why I'm putting him in the situation that everything can be burned out. And then when it's burned out, then I'm sending him forever to spiritual world. That he can always, that there is Prabhupada said, there is another ISKCON in spiritual world in Kolkata, where we will meet again. And with our kirtan and book distribution. Preaching. But preaching to whom? Everyone is a devotee there. Like Yamuna Mataji wanted open preaching center in Radhakund, and it came to Prabhupada, Prabhupada to do some preaching there, and Prabhupada said, to whom you want to preach? Everyone is a devotee here. Yeah. So this is the dynamics of the spiritual world, explained by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, later part of the Chaitanya Chaitamrita, that to avoid competition, to avoid frictions, each devotee in spiritual world is the dynamics of Goloka Vrindavan. Each devotee is putting another devotee forward. You chant, you sing, you please, you do better than me. Do this service. You do. You just be closer. You be first. I will serve from distance. Like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was standing in the end of the temple, and devotees, Maharaj, please come closer. That you can see the deities. Bhaktisiddhanta said, this is not like this. If they want, it's important that they won't see me. If they won't see me, they will see me everywhere. It's not important. I won't see them. It's important. That's why his famous statement is, "Don't act that."
Don't like as this. I mean, like you want to see Krishna.
Like you want to see Krishna. Act that the Krishna want to see you. Act like that. That's how it's working. And then Krishna Kaviraj Goswami, when we ourselves acting in this way, putting other forwards and staying behind as to support them, to serve them, to help them, to nourish them, then the experience of happiness and joy is thousand more multiplied than the person who is close and in front of Krishna. That's why no one wants to be actually close to Krishna. Everyone wants to bring spiritual others to Krishna, that's the preaching mission. That's why we should never be satisfied that we only like few people here, We should bring more and more and connect others. They can also taste these fruits, that they can be branches, they can nourish. Otherwise, you have something which is happening, the poisoning of the tree. When we are not in the unity team, we are in disunity. That's why there's all this jealousy, envy, pride, things going on, and we it's not about anymore pleasing Krishna or Lord Chaitanya, it's just about pleasing myself. And then these branches are not anymore nourished and flourished and giving the fruits, they become dry and falling apart. And this is what Prabhupada explained in Chaitanya Chaitamrita. One purport happened with mission of his spiritual master, with Gaudiya Math. Instead of being united, they start dividing into different groups, different temples, and this unity, this harmony between each other. So thank you very much. There's so many questions or comments? Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much for your association, wonderful association. It is mentioned in the purport that they were not the real son of, because on the Bodhili conception, Bhaktisiddhanta mentioned it. So you explained that because on the Bodhili conception, you cannot really connect. You have to connect with the soul.
Yes.
Yes. And you mean that these three branches, how they were not connected to Bhaktisiddhanta? Who is the son of Bhaktisiddhanta? Mentioned here.
Who is there?
The son of Bhaktisiddhanta.
Bhaktisiddhanta didn't have son.
No, no. I mean to say
Virabhadra.
Virabhadra.
Virabhadra, yes.
Yes. So you're speaking about the branches. So this means that he's disconnected from the.
Yeah, the thing what is happening here that when we discuss the descendants, and Bhaktisiddhanta is describing them, some of them, they are connected and following the instructions. They took Diksha and following this, and they nourished, they connected. But some of them, they took other side. They just identified themselves only because of the bodily connection. And they become Smarta Goswamis. Yeah. So they claim their position as a real representative of Nityananda Vamsha.
So in this connection, can we say that the Gaudiya Math or not genuine, whereas ISKCON is genuine?
It's this, no, it's Prabhupada said you learn from this situation, from this story. You see, that is what has happened during Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur times. Now we have like generation of the generation later, So these things as happened in the past, Prabhupada say learn from the past, Same also can happen to any of us, and to this organization, to this movement, to our families, to our friends, to anyone, anytime, any moment, if we are not carefully practicing Krishna consciousness. So this is just example. I have many friends in Gaudiya Math, actually myself, but we respecting each other nicely, but it is not like intimate. Why? Because if I, for example, if I will go to Gaudiya Math, any of the temples, I may be invited, But if I will not see Srila Prabhupada in the temple, or I will not see the books of Srila Prabhupada, the main book, where the classes are given, Prabhupada is not there in the center of the attention. You see, everyone, it's coming to Krishna from different branch sides. So therefore we should respect, be loyal to our own line, to our own connection. And this is the proper way how we should remain tactfully and loyal, like a wife is loyal to husband, husband is loyal to wife. And they're not looking for. And there's so many stories also in Shastra about it. But when it's Prasadam, during festival time, Gaura Purnima, some or other devotees, different Vaishnavas from different groups, they gather together and take Prasadam together. This is like in companies, right? In companies, you have your own project, you have own system of hierarchy, they have different people, different position, and they work together, They may meet with other group, with other, CEO, but, this is just maybe, to shake hands, or do some business, etc. But, there is no so much intimate, exchanges of the information, of the secrets,
There should be.
There should be.
Yes.
There should be. That can be discussed also, but what I mean that the secrets, this is intimate relationships are only in the inner cycle, are practice, actually, and because We are friendly to everyone, but friendship is only possible with like-minded people. You see, all the rasas with Krishna are very confidential, very intimate, and that's why the whole secrets are very kept between Krishna and devotees, which are between each other. And otherwise, we keep very formal. Wife and husband, when they're going outside, they keep very formal relationship with everyone. And even with the friends, they don't reveal their secrets, what the husband and wife they have between each other. Why? Because it's confidential, it's intimate. So relationships are it's great science actually, and we call this rasa. Rasa is on the base of tattva, of the truth, of our truth based on our relationship with Krishna and everyone else. But depends on the situation, we act differently. And this all great science is explained this beautifully in these books. And we study this every day. And this is great science. It's actually is a great thing. And we are learning. We are also doing many mistakes. So that's the place for training, actually, to learn how to see from different angles and appreciate this different kind of diversity and oneness. So,
You are making the point that we may have differences of opinion, different projects, this and that. That it culminates when there's prasadam, everyone comes.
Yeah. That's again unity. So let's do it. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, prasadam ki jai.
Vigatasu Prabhu ki jai.
Jai.
Jai. So, what was your experience about that? We should tell everything to everyone.
There's one truth and no secrets.
No secrets?
Any relation should be
We should be transparent to say anything to anyone.
We should remain steady.
Yes, that's okay.
That's the next